Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Sweet Dose. We have a special guest here today, Tamyra Gray. We're going to be talking all things multiple sclerosis. We're going to kind of do something a little bit backwards today, where she's going to kind of ask me questions about my diagnosis, and then we'll go from there. Tamyra, the floor is yours.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you. I feel like we did this about a year ago, and so many things have changed and grown and evolved and set
Yeah.
us back, and everything kind of in between. To bring you abreast of where I am in life. I had my baby. Woo woo. Um,
What'd you
and
name her so they know?
I had a little girl. She is now 6 months years. I tell you what, I am in the team no sleep 100%. She does not sleep through the night. We're still at every 2 hours. It's been a fierce 6 months. But I'm so grateful.
I can't believe
Uh,
she's 6 months
we
already.
talked,
That's so
I
quick.
know it's nuts. We talked last year regarding when I had my first, and I had my MS symptoms come back, and they kind of came back kind of crazy
Mhm.
with my first. And so far, I haven't had any symptoms since my baby's been born. So I'm feeling very,
Awesome.
very grateful for that. And I was diagnosed with MS in 2006, and it was a very interesting journey for me because I ended up becoming allergic to my medication, which was Copaxone at the
Mm,
time. They didn't have such a
why?
elaborate amount of different medications to offer then,
Yeah.
and every medication had its own thing of side effects that I decided that I was going to try it a little bit more naturally, and that's worked for me.
Mhm.
uh, my symptoms have been pretty baseline. Every blue moon I try to manage my stress, which I've learned is a big
Interesting.
indicator of how your symptoms flare, your exacerbations flare up.
Yep.
uh, and so, me and MS, we have become friends. The MS warrior is a daily grind, second by
Mhm.
second. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Right.
And our bodies are miraculous, and they will teach us many things if we learn to listen.
Mhm. Yep.
And I have learned a dialect with mine, and I'm super, super grateful. And we can go into that another time. But I wanted to talk about you because you were recently diagnosed last year.
Uh,
And
2020. So it'll be it went by
gosh,
quick, right?
2020. 2020.
2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be 2 years on March 10th.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So I know from our conversations about your year, but let's talk about it.
okay. I'm gonna try to get through this and not cry or shed any tears or anything like that. But unfortunately for me, um, I've had a lot of setbacks. And due to the fact that I was diagnosed with MS so late, they think I've had it for decades. I already have a lot of disability that unfortunately at this point appears to be permanent. Um, so I, excuse me. So I've had issues with my walking, cognitive ability, balance, gait, pretty much any MS symptom that you can think about, I have. Um, I had a neuropsychological exam in December, which showed 2 out of the 3 cognitive areas that they grade you on that I'm showing decline. So I have been out on disability since August of last year. And at this rate, for the immediate future, it looks like I'm gonna be on disability for a while. I'm not gonna claim it and say for the rest of my life, but at this time, a while. I've been experiencing a lot of falls, um, which doesn't help my circumstances. So Yeah, and I'll probably be moving, well, not probably, I'm moving to Atlanta.
Wow, that's
Um,
exciting. And why are you going to move to Atlanta?
um, well, I'm gonna move to live with my uncle. He actually he lives by himself in a one level rancher style of a house, so I won't have to worry about steps or anything like that. But also to just for the fact that I have been experiencing a lot of falls, um, like severe fatigue issues. We didn't talk about this the other day, but I was so fatigued Tuesday night before my infusion. I'm walking with my walker because I have to walk with a walker now, or a scooter. It started out with crutches and then it went to a cane, and then it kind of has progressed to using a walker, or using a scooter. They wanted to put me in a chair, but I wasn't really quite ready to commit to that yet. Um, so, but like you, I'm starting to kind of learn my body and know when things are not right. Um,
Mhm.
so the other night I was walking, my apartment is only 800 square feet. And I thought I was going to faint. And so I knew right away, like, okay, this is dangerous territory. You need to get to your scooter. You need to get on it. And so I did. And then I just, I went to bed super early on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I had my infusion, and it's amazing because I don't think they had Tysabri when you first was diagnosed, but it's amazing. Like I had it on Wednesday, Thursday night, and last night was the first really good sleep I've had in weeks.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, I mean, it felt good to be able to just get some good sleep because you don't realize how much your body is impacted from lack of sleep. Well,
Oh.
you probably do. You have a baby, but I don't have a baby. It's just me, and I don't.
Right.
I love to sleep, so
Yeah, hey, I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
yeah,
I have a question for you.
yeah.
No, they didn't have Ty Cybri when I was diagnosed, but do they still offer Provigil?
I mean,
Provigil was so one of the symptoms that I had when I was first diagnosed was severe fatigue. Like I could sleep day in and day out
I
and
remember that.
know why.
Yeah.
And so Provigil was something that I was prescribed to stay awake. And I
Mhm.
mean, and it gave me crazy energy. Like I was up, I took it as soon as I woke up. The sad thing was that I also had to take a sleeping pill to go back to bed because if you take
Yeah.
it too late in the day, then you don't get to go to sleep later on that night.
Yeah.
But it was something that helped me until my flares calmed down
Mhm.
just to get going.
Right.
Um,
So for me, fortunately, the fatigue thing is not something I experience all the time.
okay.
Um, really, it's usually really close to my infusion day when I start to kind of get that like severe fatigue.
Okay.
Um, so I haven't talked to my doctor about prescribing any medications to help me because I'm on a crap load of stuff already. I take two different type of muscle relaxers. Um,
The muscle relaxers are for spasms.
they're for spasms. They are for spasms. Um, so yeah, I take two different type of muscle relaxers. I take a walking pill. I don't know if they have that.
I don't know what a walking pill is. Explain.
It's it's called delphamphridine, and what it does is it helps you walk not normally, but it helps you to kind of keep that speed and that pace because when you start kind of walking slow and kind of second guessing yourself, I guess your brain, when it does that, you're more prone to fall
Okay.
because your balance is off and everything. So it kind of helps you like with the balance, and then the walking speed, I guess, because MS is all neurological. It's all in your brain. It's all with
Your
your
nervous system.
central nervous system. So you can tell your foot to go and it'll say, okay, well, I'm going to go right. I know you want me to go straight, but I'm not going to do that. So it kind of messes with your brain to make it go the correct way.
Okay. And so we never talked about what is your, I have relapsing remitting and multiple sclerosis. What were you diagnosed with?
So I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting right
Oh,
now.
great. I mean, it's not great, but
Yeah, but right now we're trying to determine if it's developed into SPMS, which is secondary progressive MS, because of all the disability that I have right now, and things not improving. So yeah. So I guess it's something we will have to revisit, in the next few months, where it's like, okay, this is permanent. Things are not going to get better. So I do go to physical therapy um, twice a week.
Okay. And
And
what do you work on when you're in physical therapy?
say that again. I missed.
What do you work on when you're on in physical therapy?
So she helps with the spasms. She
Oh,
helps to relieve kind of the same stuff that I do at home. I cup at home, the cupping, not the type that you put on fire because I don't want to burn myself, but they actually have cups that you can buy on Amazon. You
mhm,
can cup yourself. So we do cupping. She'll roll out my IT band. She'll stretch me
mhm.
different positions. We'll work on my balance. We'll work on my walking. Um, but one of the things I actually had my 6-month appointment with my neuro on, was it Monday? Yeah, it was this past Monday.
Uh-huh.
So I think we're going to take a different approach to the physical therapy, where she wants me to get like a stationary bike at home,
Okay.
so I can work, keep my legs moving, because my I can't talk today. My circulation in my right leg is so bad. I've been experiencing a lot of swelling and stuff like that. So she wants me to start using the stationary bike to kind of get that fluid going. But then she also wants me to try a different physical therapist where they work on swimming, you
Yes.
swim therapy, because the regular type of therapy is not really working for me. So she's like, okay, it's time to change course. So the course correction is I'm going to start physical therapy in the water soon. So
Excellent. I think that'll be a really great
yeah,
uh, addition to your healing modalities.
yeah. So it's a lot though. I would say from March of 2020, when I was diagnosed, up until this summer, I mean, it probably was the most difficult time in my life. Um,
Jen, take your
Try not
time.
to cry.
Okay, take your time.
Um, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard going from um, being so self-efficient and not having to depend on anybody, to needing lots of help. Um, it's been a rough year,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm finally starting to kind of get over that hump a little bit. Because I went through a stage where I was angry.
Of course.
I was so angry with God.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like, how can you keep giving one person so much?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you're so strong. You're so strong. Black women, we always, you're so strong. It's like, fuck, I don't want to be strong. I tired, I get tired. But I finally feel like I'm getting over that hump, and I'm not angry anymore. Um, I'm definitely more aware. It's
Yeah.
made me a lot more aware of things in life, um, things that I put energy into before that I had no business putting energy into, whether it be material things or people. Um, so it's like MS is horrible. But I saw this video from Richard Pryor. He was doing an interview with someone, and they asked him like a few different questions, and he only could give one answer, like the first thing that came to mind to that question. And so they asked him, like, what do you think of women? He's like, great. He's like, what do you think of wives? He's like, great. It's like, what do you think about ex-wives? He's like, lawyers. And then he's like, what do you think of kids? He's like, they're sweet. And then the journalist got him. He's like, well, multiple sclerosis. And he said it was a gift. And, people were probably going to be like, how the fuck is it a gift? It's not, it's a gift in a sense that I've never been so aware of my purpose now than I ever have been in my whole life. It's made me more aware of relationships that I should invest in, and relationships that I need to remove. It's made me appreciate life a whole lot differently. It's like when you hear the saying from people like every day above ground is a great day, it's the truth. It's the truth, because the alternative is you can be in a ground, and it's made me just kind of like, okay, it's like the big career that I had, making tons of money, and being able to go on vacations and places, hit my passport stamps and all that whenever I want it. All that was nice, and I still want to do those things, but it's really made me appreciate people. It doesn't I'm not what's the best way to think of this? I don't hate the people that I expected to be here more. It's made me appreciate the people that are here.
Yes.
And all I can do is, those people that kind of have, I don't want to say angry, have disappointed me. That's going to be for them to kind of deal with on their own, when they get to a point, you eventually realize when you do wrong by people or not right by them. So it's easier for me to kind of
more present,
yeah,
like it makes you present to your life as it stands in this moment. We're taught to be grateful for the things around us, and it's like a blanket statement that most people look and kind of throw to the wind. With my daughter Sienna, we have a thing that we do. What are you grateful for? Every night. We've done it since she was a little kid, and well, she's still a little kid. My God.
She's 11 this year, right? Or
she's 12 this year.
Oh God.
She'll be 12 in July. But for her, it's like, oh, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for sleep. Like, leave me alone.
But you know what? She'll look back later on in life and she'll appreciate you did that.
Yeah. But when you're presented with something that takes away liberties that you so freely took for granted, before this thing appeared, and when you sit there and you say, what am I grateful for? The list becomes infinite in the present moment. Hey, I opened my eyes this morning and I have energy. I'm grateful for that. Hey, I made it to the sink and I didn't fall. I'm grateful for that. Hey, I put my makeup on and beat my face. I'm grateful for that. It's like they're not simple things, believe it or not. They're the things that make up our everyday life, our routines.
The little things are the big things.
The little things are the big things, and have the power to overturn, an emotion that wells up inside of us and starts out as a little seed that eventually grows into a tornado on
Mhm.
the inside of us,
Yeah.
because it can swirl around in our emotions and we start to say, I'm angry about X, Y, and Z, even though X, Y, and Z might not be in front of us.
Mhm.
The thing that MS has taught me is that, as you just said, the little things are super important,
Yeah.
and it is a matter of allowing yourself the grace
Mhm. The
to
great.
go through your day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your each day is not going to be the same. I had debilitating headaches. Like, you couldn't believe I was throwing up all the time,
Mhm.
if I wasn't asleep. And it becomes a thing of where you look outside, and when you're outside, you're really stopping and you're smelling the air, and you're
Mhm.
seeing that rose, and you're like, hey, I might not be able to get down there, but I'm appreciating it from where I'm at.
Yeah, so I had this conversation with my dad before he died. Um, and we were sitting, I'll never forget, we were sitting because it kind of shaped my life now. Like when I look back at it, I really take to heart what he said. Um, he was sitting on the patio and he said, it was raining outside, but his house, this townhouse that he had, how it had that little covered porch where you could sit outside on the chairs and stuff. And so I said, Daddy, it's raining. You want to go inside? And he said, no. He said, so let me tell you something. He said, don't wait. God, I did not know this was going to be so hard. He said, don't wait. And like me, don't wait until you're dying to appreciate the thunderstorm, the grasshoppers chirping, and the birds. He said, don't wait until you're dying to appreciate these things. And I so get that now. I get it, because I'm not dead, but God, there's things that I think about. Like, I'll find myself watching TV and watching people hike. And I'm like, God, because it always used to be a thing where people like, you want to go hiking? I'm like, oh, no, hell no. But now it's like, I would give anything just to be able to walk,
Yeah.
to walk normally.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's we don't know what the future holds.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right now you're in your storm.
yeah,
You're in the storm, and your body is going to be able to show you many things as you no, I can't think of the word, but as you make your way through this storm,
right.
as your body gets used to the medications that you're getting,
Yeah.
and all of the therapies that you're using, you'll be surprised. Our nervous system has a way of rebuilding new synapses
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
neural pathways, and I don't believe that this is the last time, and you're going to hike again. You're going to get out to California, and we don't have to stay in my house. We can go stay somewhere where it's flat and even, and you can get out. But while you were talking, I had Marvin Sapp's song come through my head.
No, I kept
Never would have made it.
Yes. Oh,
Huh?
I love that. I said I should have just not even done my makeup. This is a
Oh
mess.
no, you did your makeup and it was beautiful, and it's okay if you cry it out. We're humans. Like, come on. I think reality, quote unquote, has made us believe that we're not allowed to be imperfect and
Mhm.
have flaws and have emotions, and we're supposed to put on this face that's plastered that makes us look like we have it all together.
Yeah.
And underneath all of that is the real us.
Yeah.
This is you. There you can, and I appreciate you saying how angry you were. I know that feeling. I had those conversations, many a nights, and the spasms and the pains, and not knowing whether or not I was going to be able to have the full faculty of my body back,
Yeah.
and here I am, many, many moons later, and on the other side,
Right.
so I will say that the greatest asset that we have as MS warriors is the strength of our mind, the
Hmm.
strength of our ability to have hope,
Yeah.
and our ability to see beyond our present circumstances while allowing our present circumstances to fill our hearts with grace and
Right.
forgiveness and
Yeah.
patience.
Yeah.
Because the more angry we become with ourselves, the more our body will facilitate that anger,
Yeah.
because our body only knows how to give us what it is that we focus on.
And what we're receiving.
And and so you are doing tremendous, and I know you don't want to be strong, but I'm going to tell you today, and I'm going to tell you tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you the next day that you are strong. You're nothing, where we, the adage, the old saying, God will never put anything on you that you cannot bear. This is your story, this is
Yeah.
your testimony,
Yeah.
and this is your path.
Yeah.
And what a tremendous gift you're giving to other MS warriors by sharing their story and not being embarrassed by it. Your tears are your medals. You made it. You made it. You might have fallen, but you got back up.
Hmm.
You might not be able to walk the way you walked, but you're moving.
Yeah.
You're not refining, you're confining yourself to be sitting. You're not saying, that's it, I give up, I'm tossing my hands, this is the end. Because
Right.
it's not. This is the beginning. And every day that you open your eyes is another beginning. The
Yeah.
story doesn't end until it ends.
Right. Yeah. And I believe, and that's why I was telling Ian the other day, I found things again that I love to do. And it's like the makeup, the hair,
Your hair looks good. Just gonna have to snap it up. Your curls are popping.
this is day one.
Girl, I'm looking at their little Shirley Temple ringlet right there.
And
And I watched.
you know what too? I was looking at old pictures. I'm like, you know what? Some of these heifers weren't my friend or my family. Y'all did not tell me I was walking around with struggle curls.
Girl, who cares? Curls are curls. Ain't nobody talking about no straggle curls.
They were,
It's called, you know why they're straggle curls? Because you straighten your hair.
but I know I stopped.
I know. Well, I started again, and I'm happy that I did. I don't have time to be sitting in front of the mirror for 4 hours, going down each individual strand to make sure that it rings up. Please, like, before, baby, yes. So I am grateful that you are taking us on your hair and natural beauty journey, because I was there many moons, and for many moons, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm not doing it." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." Now I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go to the Dominican hair salon. I'm gonna let them iron it out, and I'm gonna keep it like that for about a month, and then I'm gonna wash it out when it gets like this again, and I'm gonna go right on back. And I'm going to let her handle it, because I don't have that kind of time or patience at the moment. But I'm so glad that you have it, and that it brings you joy, and that you are sharing all the products that you're using, because I enjoy looking at it. And I called myself after I got out of the shower and washed my hair this morning. I was like, I'm gonna use my curls. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna talk with Mia. And then I looked in the mirror before I FaceTimed you, and I was like, she's gonna have her curls popping, and mine are looking as ragged can be. So we're gonna go on and slap it back in a ponytail. We're gonna go on about our day. So kudos to you, my dear.
Oh my God. I needed to laugh.
Kudos, and I love it, and I hope that you keep doing it, and you keep sharing it, and you keep having conversations like this, because laughter is
Oh yeah.
the best antidote for any and everything. Just to remember, just like you said, any day above ground is a great day.
Yeah. That's another reason why I'm like, you know what? Oh, being with, so did I tell you the dream I had about Uncle Eddie, me and my dad?
No.
So this is actually before Uncle Eddie was like, come down to Florida. Girl, I ain't moving to no Florida no more.
That's a whole other story. Let's not even go there.
But when he asked me to move down to Georgia with him, it was weird because I had this dream about me, him, and my dad. And we were like on these steps and we were walking up the steps and we were, you know how people embrace when they haven't seen each other for a long time and they're just talking and catching up. That's what we're doing. And I was telling Uncle Eddie, he was like, oh Lord. He said, I ain't ready. I ain't ready. He's like, I hope it ain't that type of. I'm like, no, we didn't die. But so then, like, you know, maybe a week or two later, he asked me to move with him. And I said, you know what? Maybe that's what my dad was trying to convey to me in that dream. Maybe he was trying to tell me that's the place that he would feel comfortable with me being is with Uncle Eddie.
Yeah.
So that's why like making the decision to go has been just so it was simple because I felt like he had already kind of made that decision for me. But anyway, to get back to that, with Uncle Eddie, you know, he makes you laugh all freaking day.
Oh, I mean, he's a podcast in and of itself.
all, all day, all day. And he will bring and like, like with me, I'm triggered by heat. I don't know if you're triggered by heat with your MS.
I was, but it's because I can't sweat.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's a
yeah.
whole different story. Yeah.
Well, I'm triggered by heat. And so, I keep it ice cold in here, winter, spring, summer, and fall. I don't care. Like at night, the temperature goes to 66. Like I can't
Yes.
be. And it was when he came to help me for my hip surgery. Oh my God, he had me in stitches. He wrapped the blanket across him, coming to my room. He's like, it's cold as hell in here. He's asking, Chuck was over. He's asking Chuck, he's like, Chuck, what temperature do you sleep with it on? Like, what is a good temperature to sleep with? He's like, because it's like Antarctica in here. But yeah, he makes me laugh. And so, it's like going down there, it'll be good for me because
It'll
I'm
be
by
soul food.
myself either. Yeah. So
Good. Come and get your soul food. Well.
you have good soul food in Atlanta?
Huh?
You have good soul food in Atlanta?
You know what? On that note, we're going to end this. We're done. And on the next episode of Sweet Talk, Sweet Dose, we're going to talk about soul food in the South of all places. Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, shoot. So what is some good restaurants and stuff I need to go to when I move down there?
You'll have to take that up with Eddie. Eddie.
Oh, you had all that now.
Eddie, because Eddie can cook.
Well, I know. Yeah. I'm ready for the barbecue.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Like it doesn't get any better. Shoot, when I go down there, I'm like, okay, who's going to feed me? But there are plenty. There are plenty. I know my mom's favorite is still This Is It.
I never heard of that.
Oh yeah. This is it. And it is only collard greens and cornbread and fried chicken and sweet potatoes and mac and cheese. Okay. And I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast or lunch.
No, I'm like, shit, I'm hungry.
So, we're gonna granted my food is not going to be that because I'm still trying to. I wish it was. I do wish it was. Maybe I might have to go and quit.
Once you could treat yourself once in a while.
Nah, I am treating myself out of the baby belly.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm treating myself
okay. You still have to indulge every now and then.
Oh, I do.
Don't deprive yourself.
I indulge in different ways. But I do hear my baby saying that I've had enough. So
well, I appreciate you coming on to Sweet Dose and talking with me today. I honestly, to God, did not know that this was the reaction a lot of the questions were going to give me, because I did the same thing with other women and not one of them cried.
That's okay. We're all on different journeys. We can't judge ourselves based off of other people.
That is so true.
You are who you are, and I'm glad that you opened your heart because it's healing.
Yeah. And that's like the biggest space I'm in right now. I just have no energy no time for any type of bullshit, like zero. And if
Go tend to my baby.
go tend to your baby, and I will talk to you later. I love
All
you.
right. I love you, sweetheart. Mwah. Great job. Great job.